Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to another session of the Tele-Education class. How are you all? I hope you're all well and you're ready for the class. So before we begin the class, there is a special announcement for you. Okay, so on the 5th of June, which is this Friday, there will be a special session for you. Okay, so the session will start from 2 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. Okay, and the topic will be on conservation of nature, wildlife, and biodiversity. So there you will be taught about the importance of biodiversity conservation and protecting wildlife and natural ecosystem. All right. So with us, we will have our guest speaker, Dr. Purnima Devi Bormon, and she is a biologist and conversationist. Okay. So you can ask any question related to the topic. All right. And I hope all of you will attend the session. Okay, don't forget the date, 5th of June at 2 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. Okay, and it will be held on your very own analytics powered e-classroom. All right, students. So with that, now let's get back to today's class. Okay, so the previous classes were about computer hardware, correct? Where we learned about the different hardware components of a computer, okay, and how we use those hardware components, right? Input and output devices. Do you remember? Okay, great. So now today we are going to get into a different topic. Okay, we have already done computer hardware. Now let's go to a new topic in today's class. All right. So here in front of you, you see a recipe book, right? So in recipe book, usually the steps, okay, how to make certain food, the steps are written. So you have to follow the steps, right? The steps tell you how to make certain dishes, right? Recipe কিতাপখনত কি হয় আমি কিবা এটা খোৱা বস্তু কেনেকৈ বনাব লাগে, right? কি steps আছে সেইবোৰ গোটেইবোৰ লিখা থাকে, হয় না? আমাক কৈ দিয়া হয় কি বনাব লাগে, right? So we simply follow the steps and we follow the instructions and we do the work and finally we get the food, okay, the dish, right? So similarly, even in case of computer, you have something called the software, okay? So what does the software do? It tells the computer, okay, what to do, okay? It tells the computer components what to do, okay? Software, you know, it acts as a interface, okay, or a medium between a user and the different components of the computer. All right, so I'm sure all of you have guessed by now what is today's topic. So it is computer software. Okay, so we are going to learn about computer software. So আজিৰ টপিকটো আমি computer software বিষয়ে পঢ়িম. Okay, so software কি হয় আগতে আমি চাও. It is a set of programs. Okay, it enables hardware components of a computer system to perform specific tasks. So what does the software do? It enables, okay, or it tells or it instructs the hardware component or it tells the hardware components of the computer to do specific work. Okay, like let's say the printer, okay, the printer will be printing, correct? Then with the help of the keyboard you will be giving instruction, right? The mouse, again, it is used for input, right? Or scanner, right? You are scanning a document. So these are different hardware components. So these all, okay, these specific work like printing, scanning, okay, typing input, right? So all of these are specific work which are done by specific hardware components and they do these work with the help of the software. Okay, it allows these hardware components to do specific work. ঠিক আছে? So software to কি হয়? তোমাৰ যে হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্টছবোৰ তোমালোকে যোৱা ক্লাছত পঢ়িছা হয় না? যোৱা কেইটামান ক্লাছ আমি কম্পিউটাৰ হাৰ্ডৱেৰৰ বিষয়ে পঢ়িছো, কাৰেক্ট? তাতে আমি কি পঢ়িছো যে তোমাৰ ইনপুট আৰু আউটপুট ডিভাইচেছ হয় না হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্টছৰ ভিতৰত। সো সেই গোটেইবোৰ হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্ট কি হয়, ছফটৱেৰটোৱে কি কৰে, ইট এলাউজ, অকে, সেই হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্ট বিলাকৰ যিবোৰ পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ কাম প্ৰতিটো হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেণ্টে বেলেগ বেলেগ কাম কৰে, কাৰেক্ট? চ' সেই কামবোৰ যে কৰিব লাগে, কেতিয়া কৰিব লাগে, সেইবোৰ ছফ্টৱেৰে কৈ দিয়ে বা দেখাই দিয়ে, okay? It allows or it enables the hardware components to perform specific tasks. All right, so acts as an interface between user and the hardware component. So it acts as a medium, interface or medium between the user and the hardware component. So you as a user, you are using the system to, do a particular kind of work, correct? So the software will then delegate, okay, or it will help the operating system to delegate the task to different hardware components, right? So basically the software is like a medium. It is like a interface between you, the user, and the hardware components, hardware parts, okay? So that is computer software. So there are two main types of software based on its function and utility. So now what are the different types of software? So we have system software and then we have application software, okay? দুটা ধৰণৰ software আছে computer software, এটা হ'ল তোমাৰ system software, এটা হ'ল তোমাৰ application software. So আজি আমি ক্লাছত পঢ়িম যে system software আৰু application software কাক কোৱা হয়, okay, with examples. So we'll study about the different types now. So here is an example. So this is a you can say traffic light, right? So it's a very busy intersection and you can see the vehicles stopping at the traffic light. You can see the traffic police who is controlling the traffic, right? He is telling which cars can go, which cars can stop, when the pedestrians can cross the road. So he is controlling the entire situation, right? So similarly, even in case of system software, what does it do? It helps to run and manage the hardware, okay? System software controls the hardware. It allows the hardware components to do specific tasks. It helps run the computer, it helps run and manage all the different hardware components, okay? It tells which component can do which work at what time, okay? So all of that. So এতিয়া is an example to আমি পালো কি হয় তোমাৰ traffic light, right? So traffic signal এটা traffic light থাকে যেটোৱে গাড়ীবোৰক ৰখিব কয়, যাব কয়। traffic police থাকে যোনে কি হয় গোটেই তোমাৰ সেই জাগাটোত কি কৰে চাই থাকে হয়নে গাড়ীবোৰ ঠিক ধৰণে গৈ আছে নাই কোনখন গাড়ী যাব পাৰে কোনখন ৰখিব লাগিব কেতিয়া মানুহবিলাকে ৰাস্তা ক্ৰছ কৰিব পাৰে কি হয় গোটেই এৰিয়াটো কন্ট্ৰোল কৰি আছে হয়নে কোনে কেতিয়া কোনটো কাম কৰিব পাৰে right? So similarly, system software ক্ষেত্ৰতো একেই হয় কি কৰে system software it helps run and manage the hardware component বোৰ কেতিয়া কাম কৰিব কেনেকে কাম কৰিব এই গুটেইবোৰ system software চাই okay it helps manage them okay so its main purpose is to provide a platform for other applications to perform tasks so basically system software is it allows the hardware components to perform specific task okay and other applications in the computer okay in a computer you can find different applications okay different programs so system software manages those as well and allows or provides those or provides a platform okay or a way for those applications to perform specific task okay so now let's go to the first question of today's class. So what do we call the physical components of a computer system that can be touched and seen? Okay, what do we call physical components of a computer system that can be touched and seen? So options are A, software, B, hardware, C, data, or D, program. So I am starting the timer. You can give your answer. So you can use your rough device for it. Okay, students, so time is up and many of you have given the correct answer, which is option B, which is hardware. So hardware is the physical components are the physical components of a computer that we can see and touch. All right. So now some types of system software. So let's see some different types of system software. So first is the operating system. Okay, so I'm pretty sure all of you are familiar with the operating system, correct? I'm sure this topic is already covered, but let's see through the definition of operating system. Let's see how like what is exactly operating system, right? So operating system is basically, you can see here all the different hardware components like the disk drive, the mouse, printer, then we have keyboard, monitor, different applications. So they are all managed by the operating system. So in order for the computer to run, okay, in order for the computer to work, you need the operating system. Okay, operating system is an important part. Without the operating system, a computer system cannot run. Okay, operating system manages all the operations in the computer. Okay, it manages all the different components of the computer. Okay, so প্ৰথম ভাগটো আমি পালো অপাৰেটিং সিস্টেম। এতিয়া অপাৰেটিং সিস্টেমত কি হয় যে কম্পিউটাৰ এটা ৰান কৰিবলৈ আমাক অপাৰেটিং সিস্টেম এটা লাগে। অপাৰেটিং সিস্টেমে কি কৰে, তোমাৰ গোটেইবোৰ যিবোৰ হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্ট আছে, সফটৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্টছ আছে, ওকে, তাৰপিছত তোমাৰ যিবোৰ কি হয় ইনষ্ট্ৰাকশনছ আছে, ৰাইট, সেই গোটেইবোৰত কোনে কেতিয়া কাম কৰিব, কেনে কাম কৰিব, কিমান টাইম লাগিব প্ৰতিটো টাস্কত, ওকে, সেই গোটেইবোৰ অপাৰেটিং সিস্টেমে মেনেজ কৰে। ওকে, বেসিকলি কম্পিউটাৰ এটাত অপাৰেটিং সিস্টেম নহলে কম্পিউটাৰ এটা নচলে। ওকে, you will need an operating system. All right, so again, operating system, it assigns tasks to different components. It tells how much time is required for each task. Okay, and all the instructions that are given by the user. Okay, when it will be processed, then which component will also the data that is stored in the memory. Okay, memory allocation of the different information. So all of those are handled or managed by the operating system. Okay, then next we have device driver. So now the device driver, you can see here, it acts as a interface between the user, okay, and the different hardware components. Okay, so basically you can see here in this photo, okay, in this image you can see applications and users, right, which is people who use the computers, like us, we are the user, right, we are using the device. Then we have operating system, correct, which manages all the work that is done in a computer, right? Then we have device drivers. So device drivers are basically, operating system. With the help of the device drivers, it manages all the different components of the system, right? It's a computer program that enables computer to interact with the hardware, right? So the interaction between the user, okay, and the hardware, okay, we can do it with the help of the device driver, and it is said to be a computer program. Okay, device driver কি কৰে, তোমাৰ কম্পিউটাৰ আৰু তোমাৰ হাৰ্ডৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্টৰ মাজত, okay, and between the user, সেই ইন্টাৰেকশনটো কৰাত সহায় কৰে। যেনেকে আমি কিবা এটা কাম কৰিবলৈ দিও, okay, আমাৰ সেই কামখিনি যে কৰি আমি যিখিনি ৰিজাল্ট পাওঁ, okay, that whole interaction, okay, that is also because of device drivers. Okay, so it's a computer program that enables computer to interact with the hardware, right? These are the hardware components you can see, right? So it enables the computer system to interact with them, to finish the task and show the output to the user. Okay, then we have firmware. So what is a firmware? So when you turn on a device, firmware first activates and begins any processes required to start the device, such as waking up the hardware necessary to begin booting the operating system. So in case of firmware, you can see in the picture, okay, what are we doing? We are turning on the computer system. So turning off a computer system, what is the process called? Do you know what is the term that we use When we turn on the system, yes, very good, booting, computer booting, okay? It means the computer is turning on. So immediately when you turn on a computer, you know, all the other components, okay, hardware components, all the other components or different devices, okay, they do not immediately turn on. They require some time for all the you can see components to be active, okay, so that you can start working. So see here, that is what is being said. When you turn on the device, firmware first activates and begins any processes required to start the device. So when you turn on the computer, the very first thing firmware will do, which is a type of system software, what it will do, it will wake every single, you can say, uh, components, okay, of the computer, so that the computer is ready for work, okay. So first and foremost, it will do the booting of the operating system, because operating system is what manages the manages all the components, right, of the system. So first of all, it will wake up the operating system, then it will wake up the other components, like the, you have here the circuit board, right, the motherboard, then we have the memory, RAM, right, storage, then you have the fan, right, that is in the CPU, in the system unit, then the keyboard, the mouse, right, then you have the speaker. So all of these components are woken up one by one. After the operating system is active, then the rest of the components get active, and then you can start working on your computer system, okay. So firmware তোমালোকে বুজিছা. So firmware to কি হয়, যেতিয়া তুমি কম্পিউটাৰ এটা অন কৰা, বুটিং, okay, বুটিং অফ a কম্পিউটাৰ বুলি কওঁ, চিষ্টেমটো অন কৰা মানে. so কি হয়, লগালগ তোমাৰ গোটেইবোৰ কম্পোনেন্ট এক্টিভ নহয়, অন কৰাৰ লগে লগেই কি হয়, তোমালোকে দেখিছা চাগে, কি হয়, কম্পিউটাৰটো অন কৰাৰ লগে লগে অকমান ৰখিব লাগে, ৰাইট, তোমাৰ চিষ্টেমটো, গোটেই চিষ্টেমৰ কম্পোনেন্টছ অন হওঁতে, ৰাইট. so সেইখিনি কথা কৈছে যে ফাৰ্মৱেৰে কি হয়, প্ৰথম অপাৰেটিং চিষ্টেমটো এক্টিভ কৰে, তাৰপিছত বাকীখিনি যিখিনি কম্পোনেন্ট আছে কম্পিউটাৰৰ সেইখিনি অন কৰে, হাৰ্ডৱেৰ হওক, তোমাৰ ভিতৰৰ ছফ্টৱেৰ কম্পোনেন্টছো হওক, চব এক্টিভ কৰে, এণ্ড তাৰে পিছত আমি কম্পিউটাৰটোত কাম কৰিবলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিব পাৰোঁ. The computer is ready to work, okay. So now there is one another example here, okay. So we have a mixer, okay. So mixer has a specific work, right? This, we use it to mix different ingredients, right? You cannot do any other work with the mixer, correct? So this mixer or blender, it has a specific work. It only mixes ingredients, different ingredients. Or this oven, okay, oven, we usually bake things. You cannot cook a full meal, you cannot make curry, you cannot make rice in here, right? Ovens are usually used to make bake things, right, like a cake, for example. So, or a fan, this device, it is used for the specific task of giving out air, right? Or even a fridge, it is used for cooling down things. So all these different devices, they have specific functions. They can be used for only one type of work, right? So similarly, even in case of application software, they only do specific kind of work, okay. So application software, or as we call it, app. I'm sure you have used this term, app, right? So app is nothing but application software. So it is a kind of software that performs specific functions for the end user by interacting directly with it. So it performs specific functions. So in a computer system, you will find different kinds of apps, okay, application softwares. And those apps, they all do specific work. No two apps do the same work. Every single app has a different use, okay. So, and what does it do? End user by interacting directly with it. So user can directly use these apps, okay. You can simply open the app and you can work on it, okay. You don't need any kind of medium, right? So the sole purpose of application software is to aid the user in doing specific tasks. So again, in case of application software, specific tasks can be done with specific application softwares, okay. Application software ক্ষেত্ৰত কি হয়, তোমাৰ আমি কিছুমান স্পেচিফিক কাম কৰিব পাৰো ওকে নিৰ্দিষ্ট কিছুমান কাম থাকে তোমাৰ কম্পিউটাৰ সিস্টেম এটা তুমি বহুত কেইটা এপ বিচাৰি পাবা ওকে যেটা ষ্টাৰ্ট মেনুত যাবা সেই গোটেই মেনুখনত তুমি বিচাৰিবা তাতে কেইবাটাও এপ্লিকেশন সফটওয়্যাৰ বা এপ তুমি দেখা পাবা আৰু প্ৰতিটো এপৰ বেলেগ বেলেগ কাম আছে কোনো দুটা এপৰ একে ইউজ নাই ওকে প্ৰতিটো এপৰ বেলেগ বেলেগ কাম আছে ওকে আমি এক্সাম্পলছো চাম ওকে কি ধৰণৰ আমি এপ্লিকেশন সফটওয়্যাৰ বিচাৰি পাও ওকে আমি কিহত কাম কৰিব পাৰো কম্পিউটাৰ এটাত অলৰাইট so first let's take a question a firewall protects a computer from a virus b unauthorized access c ram failure d cpu overheating so I'm starting the timer so based on your knowledge give me the answer okay so time is up and many of you have given the correct answer, which is option B, which is unauthorized access. Very good. So we were talking about application software, right? It application software ক্ষেত্ৰত, like I said, কিছুমান নিৰ্দিষ্ট কাম কৰিব পাৰে applications বিলাকে, right? Apps বোৰে. So app বোৰ কি হয় আমি directly app টো খুলিয়ে আমি তাতে কাম আৰম্ভ কৰিব পাৰো. Okay? So there's a note for you, everyone. Write this down quickly. So did you know that Windows is also a computer software, but it is not just any software, it is the system software that runs the computer. So Windows, okay, jitu ami software ব্যবহাৰ কৰি আছো, right? হেতু কি হয় এটা system software হয়, okay? And it runs the computer. Okay, তোমালোকৰ স্কুলৰ যিবোৰ কম্পিউটাৰ্ছ হয় তাতে দেখিছা okay software to windows correct so windows software to কি কৰে it runs the computer okay so now let's take some examples of application software so we have word processor so it's a software that is used for mainly creating and editing text add image tables diagrams etc into a document so word document বা এটো কি হয় ms word okay application tour নাম okay application software tour নাম ms word এটো ms word to খুলিলে আমি কি হয় word document পাম okay ভিতৰত and তাতে আমি কি হয় we can type okay we can add text so when you open the ms word application you will find a word document okay when you open it and there you can type you can add text you can add tables images okay so basically it's a software okay and we call it word processor and you can do all these things in this software in this application software okay so this is a Word document. As soon as you open MS Word, you will find this window. Here you will get the Word document. This is a new document. You can start typing here. So MS Word to khular lage lage Word document khon khulibo. Yate a to work area hoy. A white area দেখিছা ইয়াতে তোমালোকে টাইপ কৰিব পাৰা তোমালোকে এডিট কৰিব পাৰা যিখিনি টাইপ কৰিছা ওকে বা টেবলছ এড কৰিব পাৰা ইমেজেছ এড কৰিব পাৰা ডায়াগ্ৰামছ দিব পাৰা ৰাইট সো এইটো এটা হল application software next is a spreadsheet so spreadsheet is generally designed to hold numerical data and short text so ms excel application software to khulile ki hoy yeah spreadsheet ekhon khula jabo yatte ami ki koru protitu ei cellor bhitor ami ki hoy data input koribo paru output keyboard e type kori ami ki hoy numbers words letters text আপনি এটা fill up করতে পারো okay so this is spreadsheet which is you know when you open the application of MS Excel